Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Now the last time we've looked at the weak hanging pawns, but today I'm going to show you my game from where I managed to create a powerful attack using my hanging pawns. Okay, so I'm playing the black pieces here. I have these hanging pawns as you can see. They can be very dynamical. Usually when you have them you want to create some sort of an attack or initiative. If you're not careful, your opponent can put a lot of pressure on these pawns because they can't be defended by other pawns. For example, with rooks on the open files, also with, for example, moves like knight a4 attacking this pawn, and you could get really in trouble. But here in this position, as you can see, I have a pretty nice position because because both of my hanging pawns are well protected, and he's not even like attacking my pawns. He's not putting much pressure on these pawns. So this is really nice for us. We can also see that we have these two bishops here looking at the king. Also knights, the knights could, join the attack, and also the rooks if they're needed. But you may say, okay, this is all nice, but I don't see any attack. Okay, we don't have an attack yet, but probably in the future, a move such as d4 would be possible. You have to be really careful about pushing these hanging pawns, by the way, but at the right moment, pushing d4 is a nice idea because it opens up this bishop. You know, just opens up your pieces and creates some initiative. But you have to wait for the right moment. So, okay, here white played knight f3, and I played queen to a8. Basically, you know, with some d4 ideas, I could be really annoying here on this diagonal. So here he played bishop e2, and I should have played d4 right away. The computer says something like this, and if he takes, okay, we can take here, and we can see why this queen here is a pretty important piece. So, okay, this just destroys the opponent's king, and we have a lot of active play here. So, yeah, I should have played d4, but I played rook e6. I wanted to maybe, you know, double up on this file, put some pressure here, maybe then play d4, or even if we move the knight, then the rook might come here, let's say to the g file, and put pressure on the king. So okay, I played that. He played rook to d1, I played my rook to e8. He played rook to d2. He wasn't really playing, you know, the best moves, of course. Here I played bishop to b8, getting the bishop out of the way. Rook d1. He finally decided to put some pressure on my hanging pawns, but he can't really, he can't really put a lot of pressure on it because, look, it's defended like 3 times. These pawns are well protected now, and he can't do much here, I think. I played bishop to c6. Okay, here I wasn't sure what to do, so I basically got the idea of maneuvering my queen here to c7, so then I would have a nice battery here and could look for ways to get rid of this knight. For example, with d4 maybe, and then also opening up this bishop. This was my idea basically. That's also why I played bishop to b8 before. So here I played bishop c6. He played his knight to h4. I played queen to b7. He played g3. Even, you know, just weakening squares around his king even more. And I played d4. I decided it was time to play d4. Just open up this bishop. Now we can see that there are a lot of light square weaknesses. Also, we can see that we could have some sacrifices on g3. I was also considering it, by the way. Here, you know, some moves like that, you have to consider them. But I decided for d4, and it's a nice move. Also, we have pressure on this bishop here on the e file, and I just want to open up my rooks. So it is the correct time to play d4 here. That's the reason, you know, because my pieces are ready to create an attack. So he took, I took, he took the pawn, and okay, by the way, we sacrificed a pawn here, but of course we want to open up the position to get our pieces active. So here I played the bishop to a7. I didn't have much time here, I think, that's why, okay, I wasn't sure, but still, it's a good move, you know, attacking the rook with a tempo and also putting our bishop here on this dangerous diagonal. So he returned back, and now I thought, okay, let's jump with our knight to this e5 square, because we want to bring as many pieces to the attack as possible, and some jumps to f3 might be possible here. So he played his knight a4. I don't know why, I'm probably wanting to play something like this and opening the bishop up. I don't know, but it doesn't make much sense. I can just play knight to f3. Now maybe it doesn't seem so obvious why this is the best move, because you know I'm exchanging quite some pieces here, but the point is that at the end my queen comes here to this f3 square, and because of course also he played the move g3, now squares around his king are going to be very weak. So he took, I took, I'm also taking the bishop here, so he has to do something. He took, I took, and now he's just completely lost. The point is that, okay, I'm threatening rook to e1, first of all. If he does nothing, let's say, rook here, what is he gonna do? He can take, and then he gets mated. So it's really dangerous, as you can see, just moving these pawns here. And yeah, another threat is, as we can see in the game, after rook to f1, we can take here on g3 actually, because we played bishop a7 and there's a pin. So it's really dangerous here for white. He went h1, I took, and just played knight to g4. There's gonna be mate here, and he can't do anything to stop it. He can't, you know, he can't play f3 or f4 to defend it with the rook, because oh sorry, because we have the pin still. So yeah, this was just crushing. So okay, the important parts here were preparing our pieces for the attack. You can see I doubled up my rooks on the e file because they were useful here, as you saw, with threats of rook d1 and stuff like that, and also on this bishop. And just choosing the right time to push d4, to open up your pieces and just crush him. So this was really interesting, I think, and also really instructive on how to make the most of your hanging pawns and just how to use them to attack your opponent. So guys, if you like this video, please like it, share it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.